Growing up, life was very difficult for my family. There were days that we didn't have enough to eat. Our lives were spent working in the field and studying the Quran. As the eldest child, my father felt that I was going to be a religious leader in our community someday. Much of my time was spent preparing for that day. When I turned 15, I got an education certificate from my village, and there were no additional opportunities for me there. That's when I decided to go to a large city near my home called Fatigue to get a degree. After arriving, I was invited to see a movie called The Jesus Film, and at the end, I was handed a blue book called The Book of Hope. Before getting the book and seeing the film, I didn't even know that Christianity existed. The book was the first piece of Christian literature I had ever encountered, and it put a lot of questions in my mind. On summer break, I went back to my village and met with my Muslim teacher to ask some questions that I had been wrestling through. Questions like, is there a verse in the Quran that guarantees salvation? And what can I do to be saved? My teacher gave me indirect answers and was unable to answer the questions for me. That's when I decided to reach back out to the missionary that gave me the Book of Hope. He then connected me to a local church pastor in Fatigue. That pastor discipled me, and I decided then to give my life to Christ. At that point, when I would travel home, I continued going to the mosque because I didn't have the strength to confront my father with my newfound faith. But when I would go to the mosque, I prayed to Jesus instead of Allah. As I kept growing in my faith and reading my Bible, the day came that I had the courage to tell my father. He went into a rage unlike I had ever seen. My father was so upset that he kicked me out of our house and our village. The rest of the villagers rejected me as well, and I had no family and no place to go. That's when I ended up leaving my hometown and going back to Fatigue. The pastor that had been discipling me took me in and allowed me to stay with his family. It was during that time I felt God calling me to go to Bible college, and that's how I became a pastor. What my father said to me long ago was correct. I am a spiritual leader. I point others to the one true God. Now I am forever grateful. The Book of Hope opened my eyes and allowed me to know the Lord. That changed the direction of my life forever. Today, I get to share the same hope with others. I serve as the director of the Sahel region in Africa for One Hope.